The sound? Is this how all of his stuff sounds? Guys, I get it. I feel like I say that in all these videos, but like, I get it. I understand. Hi, hello, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. Shout out to the Salem Coven members who are seeing this first. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. If you want to join the Salem Coven members, they're usually about 6 to 8 weeks ahead of YouTube. They get early access to all my content as well as other perks, exclusive content, live streams, things that I either can't put on YouTube or I have to blur for YouTube, like official music videos, requested live performances, interviews, documentaries, concerts, more weighing on what I do next, things like that. All of the information will be in the description below. Well, I was supposed to start filming like good 2 hours ago. I just did like an overhaul. I feel like we have this conversation a lot, and yet here we are again. I've messed with my audio settings again because I get comfortable in things, and when I feel confident enough, the likelihoods of me changing something decrease dramatically. So, example, there's a lot of stuff I can fix in editing and post when it comes to my audio. When I upgraded this mic, that helped a lot with the background noise. However, I got this mic after having to do all this extra stuff in post because of the AC. And in my head, the heat was going to be the same noise. And I have found that to be not true. I have found that the AC is in fact way louder. So recently, even with this mic, I've been having a lot more background noise. And because of the other changes I made in the audio with regards to headphones and the new camera setup and all that stuff, I had kind of just like accepted that I would have to like put a boost on things and blah, 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 blah. The issue with that is that it makes other noises get boosted too. All of this long drawn out story to say that I went and did a bunch of research and deep dives on what I could do specifically to the mic and try to make the volume more consistent, because even though the background noise has kind of been the least of all evils when it comes to editing, it doesn't change the fact that I am constantly having to take each time I speak and each time the music plays, in each of those clips, I'm having to mess with something with the volume. The music's not loud enough, the music's too loud. I'm talking too low, I'm talking too loud. I'm constantly having to mess with that in editing. It takes a lot of time. And I'm already not a fast editor. We've been through this, right? I've done a bunch of like test run videos, just like me messing with it, me talking, playing random music to just make sure it seems like it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna be honest, I'm so nervous though, because I'm like, I messed with a lot. Things that I quite frankly don't understand. Watching YouTube tutorials, compressors and limiters and expanders, and I'm afraid. It sounded okay. I'd rather do it today while I'm filming things that are not a full album reaction. So even if it doesn't go well, it's not as much of a pain to edit because of the length of the video. All that to be said, I hope it's more crisp. I hope it's less background noise. For you guys, you probably won't be able to tell much of a difference because I do try to do as much in editing to make sure you guys don't have the same experience that I do when I'm watching it while I'm editing it. Fingers crossed that editing me is not sitting here pissed. I'm already nervous for that. Anyways, okay. So today I'm trying to debate which video I want to start with. Let's go ahead and start with our newest video in the Introduction to series, which is going to be Dave. I know I say this every time. Ones will like kind of stick out. And some of them it's like I've been getting consistent comments for a long time. Not necessarily a ton of them, but for a long time. Some of them it's like it'll go in a wave and I'll have a bunch of requests for it. I think there's more of the ones that go in waves after a certain video that I think reminded people of Denzel Curry. Like I got a big spike, you know what I mean? Or things like that. I feel like Dave is one that people have been consistently asking for. Well before we started doing this Introduction to series, people have been asking for like, do this song of his, do this album of his, that sort of thing. When I did introduce the Introduction to series, I feel like he's someone who I have seen consistently a lot of requests for. So I'm really excited. For those of you who don't know, Salem Coven members over on Patreon are the ones who help me with basically everything. They vote on artist deep dives, they vote on a lot of stuff, and even if you're just a free member on Patreon, there's still a Google form you can fill out, but the Salem Coven members get a lot more perks, including more weigh-in. They're also the ones who help me pick which songs to do, along with so many other things. Thank you guys for all of your help and guidance, as always. I truly could not do it without you. Normally what I do on these videos is I ask for top recommendations, ideally from different albums. Hope is that I can do a full artist deep dive on them in the future, but this gives me a little bit of a highlight reel until then. We are going to start with Screwface Capital, which is from his 2019 album Psychodrama, which I believe is his first studio album after having like some mixtapes or EPs or things like that. I believe that is a very cool cover, I will say. Yes, please give me piano. I don't know why I was expecting something kind of like wild or something. I guess because of like the cover and it's called Psychodrama, Screwface Capital. I don't know. There's something about it. I was kind of expecting, I don't even know what exactly I was expecting, but it was not this beautiful piano. Oh, y'all know how I feel about a piano. Yes, yes, please. I was kind of wondering, just because I've seen the comments about the boy who played the harp, the boy who played harp. What is it called? We have one song from there today. The boy who played the harp, which like as a concept, I have so much to say, like without hearing anything from him. I've never heard Dave, to my knowledge. Just title alone, I have so much to say about that. Anyways, not the point. Well, if it's the boy who played harp, like maybe it will have more of like some like orchestral elements or something. I think I was expecting a sound like this. I might get something like that on the song for the boy who played harp. The harp, whatever the name is that I can't even remember. Okay, I'm sorry. We're 15 seconds into this and I'm sorry. We're starting it over. That's beautiful. So much emotion in that. And I want you now. And I want you now.
I made a link with the Russians, 6-figure discussions, dinners in public, my linen all tailored, my outstanding payments swift like Taylor, and boy I owe them man a beating, but don't watch what I'm making, just know I put both of the P's in up at the same time I put the pay in pagan, man wanna beef don't know what the stakes is, broad daylight doing nigga on a day shift, free scales got 'em living on basic, my location changes quicker than gears on a brand new Porsche Cayman, I told RJ put down a line and he did, but he's got another 3 like H's. I gotta watch for the greed and the hatred. I'm saying who's on votes. We'll hit up a nigga and see who's on smoke when it's that time. You can run that shit there and it's cool, but you can't hear like a bad line. It's been 15 minutes since me and her fucked, and I'm saying we still in the house for. Girls say I'm rude, but they won't ever leave, cause you know the jab right like southpaws. Outdoors, me and my niggas are root outlaws. I tell a man speak with respect. How you gonna say that we beef for your chest like Sergey didn't G-lean on your set? I do not have one knee cause a friend. If it's beef on the ends, then it's peak for them. This thing's coming like Pokemon Go, cause I seen man once, never seen him again. Man
I listen, I edit my videos, okay? I know how many times I say certain things, okay? And I know it has frequently come up where I'm like, oh, you know, the production, I'm kind of getting lost in it, which is not normal for me. I am such a lyrics person. Sometimes the production does kind of take me away. That happens more often in reactions for me than it does in my day-to-day. I don't know. I want to say like in real life, but like this is real life, so that feels weird. Anyways, the point. Is it the production? Yes. But his voice, between his voice and the Taylor Swift line, okay, I don't even know what I just heard. Like I did, but I didn't. And I'm embarrassed because arguably, like, do I love the production? Absolutely. But given the structure of this shouldn't be a song that I'm like, I have no idea what was just said. And I'm embarrassed to say that, like, that is just like not the case. I'm obsessed with his voice. I don't know if it's the cadence. First of all, it's now occurring to me that y'all said he was UK based. But in the moment, I forgot about that. So when that accent came in, I was like, wait, what? And then I was like, oh, I'm obsessed. Okay, I'm sorry. I definitely got to look at lyrics is the point of what I'm saying here. Because there was only a few, like... So listen, God, I love the Salem Coven members. Because of course y'all gave me a song that literally has my outstanding payment Swift like Taylor. I love you guys. I love you guys. Okay, I'm focused. Oh, I feel like you guys said London. Am I making that up? Now that I'm saying this out loud. Hold on. You're not telling me where he's from. Yeah, London. I will say.
I made a link.
Listen. I swear it used to not do that. I could like click up there and it wouldn't. You know what? Let me just mute it in case I do it. I made a link with the Russians. 6-figure discussions, dinner in public. My linen all tailored. My outstanding payments swift like Taylor. And boy, I owed them men a beating. Interesting. Owe them. Oh my God, look, guys, I'm picking up on a rhyme scheme. That never happens. That never happens. I think it's only because I expected something else. I love when that happens. It's like the only time I really get rhyme schemes, I swear, is when it's like something that I thought it was going to be another word. It's like the only time my brain actually goes with rhyme schemes. I make that make sense. I don't know. Dyslexia for you. Just know I put both of the P's in op. At the same time, I put the pay in pagan. Okay, but pagan is not spelled like pagan. This is going to be potentially a time when all of my UK shows that I watch, that I've watched my whole life and continue to watch, I think may help me. Because isn't that slang? I don't remember what it's slang for, though. I'm pretty sure, though. Someone who's fake, disloyal, backstabber, generally untrustworthy. Oh, that's interesting. Especially considering that it's the pay and him talking about like owing them, linking up with the Russians, like all of that. But then to say, I put the pay in pagan, but pagan being what it is. I like that. Man want a beef, don't know what the stakes is. Love. 3 scales, got him living on basic. Why 3 scales? Normally it's 2. Oh, music, right? Aren't there 3 major scales in music? Or are we talking about something, totally different? Given the context of this, I'm like, it could go CGF. I don't know. That could be talking about something else, but that's the only thing I can think of that would have 3 scales versus like a 2 scale. 2 scales make me think of a symbol for like justice. Lady Justice holds the 2 scales. But when you say 3 scales, that makes me think of music. Maybe? But God, I'm living on basic. So is that, okay, if we are talking about music, then are we saying like other people's music is basic? I told RJ to put down the line and he did, but he's got another 3 like H's. Oh, like the 3 lines. Stop. Wait, I love that. I gotta watch for the greed and the hatred. Ooh, I'm saying who's on votes. I don't really know what that one is, I'm being honest. We hit up and see who's on smoke when it's that time. I think that's where we were, right? Sorry, I scrolled up and I really don't remember. I'm gonna start from there just in case. No, because we got to, no, we were way ahead of that because there was a Pokemon line. The fact that that's what I remember, that's why I can remember that we haven't got there is, okay. Anyways, you can run that shit there and it's cool, but you can't hear like a bad line and not connecting. It's been 15 minutes since me and her fucked, and all I'm saying is, what you still in the house for? I'm not saying we're not talking about what he's saying, but I do have to wonder a little bit if that's supposed to be a double for like industry, because it just makes me think of 15 minutes of fame. And again, I think it's mostly talking about the woman situation, but I don't know. It's interesting thinking about 15 minutes and like 15 minutes of fame, almost like I kick that out with the 15 minutes of fame thing. I think that's a stretch. I think that's less likely. But I'm trying to be better about not just glossing over lines that have to do with sex and that sort of thing, because I have a tendency to kind of move past those lines, because it's like, what am I going to say about that? Like, what am I going to break down there? You know what I mean? But I often forget that sometimes those can be working through that as like an analogy. So I'm trying to be better about remembering that anytime that comes up, to at least explore the possibility of that being something else before just moving past it. Regardless of the likelihoods of it actually being the case or not, I at least want to ask the question. Outdoors, me and my are, I cannot speak. Outdoors, me and my are all outlaws. I can't even read it, much less the cadence he's going. I tell a man, speak with respect. How are you going to say that we beef with your chest? Like that connecting back up. Is there an G lean on your set? One friend. What does that mean? That's slang too, right? I just don't remember what it means. Dull or unpopular? This one says people who argue. Dull or unpopular, especially one who's interested in niche subjects. I didn't need to be called out, but that's fine. Oh, instead of like a nerdery. Okay, yeah. If it's beef on the ends, then it's bleaker for them. This team's coming like Pokemon Go. Isn't ting supposed to be like thing, but it's like shortened? Or is it supposed to be like a romantic? I feel like I need to double check that. Yeah, object or item, romantic interest, especially a girlfriend or a weapon. Okay, jab to the right like southpaw. Oh, I think it was supposed to be, is it southpaw instead of southpaw? Is there a difference? Wait, jab. Wait, isn't that like a, why do I know that? Why do I know that? Isn't that like a, if you hit a different hand? Wait, why do I know that? Left-handed, yeah, left-hander hitters are southpaws. This says baseball, this one says boxing. I don't know how I know that, but I know that. Okay, that makes sense. Where was I? So given that we're talking about like the whole beef thing, okay, so ting is weapon, because I don't think it makes as much sense to say that's about like a romantic thing, given the lines around it, because I seen a man once, never seen him again. Why pokey? How did he say it?
This thing's coming like Pokemon Go, cause I seen man.
Pokemon Go? Oh, like stab him? Shoot him? I feel like that's right. Okay, I think I'm with you. I feel like that's where the last thing I remember was Pokemon Go. So I'm gonna start here.
I seen man once, never seen him again. Man don't really want to walk to the shop or jump on the train, cause the end's got tension. One eye on my ops, two eyes on my friends, cause at least my ops man knows their intentions. I turn a loss to a lesson, I turn a curse to a gift and a blessing. Any girl that I've got an interest in, face interesting, body impressive. I got 99 out of 100 marks in class on my English questions. I get the same if I did it again, cause I still don't know the definition of resting. I put blood in, I put sweat in, I shed tears when my niggas got sentenced. I spent years with my niggas in Streatham, but you wouldn't know that cause you don't live this. What have you done for your siblings? I made sure that the family's sweet. So many days that I starved myself just to make sure that my whole family eats. The Merc is a beast and I'm blacking it out. 1.9 on the plan for a house. I ain't got a memory of when dad was around. Still a child when I turned man of the house. Tell me what you know about a bag full of bills and your mum crying out saying, son, I can't take it. And then staring in the mirror for an hour with a tear in your eye like I gotta go make it. Ever seen a good friend turn pagan? A pretty girl glow down turn basic? Ever seen a nigga enough man rated, losing his mind cause of food that he's taking? You're either a lamb or you're Hannibal. Good kid but I grew up round animals. No chick can't tell me about attitude. I got a girl from the Screwface capital.
The way I have chills, I am obsessed with his voice. Okay, now I'm remembering someone had said this might be a good to give like a little bit of background about him, which makes sense because I do feel like I learned a little bit about his family dynamics, how he grew up. There was some really great lines. Okay. Also, it shows that we're done with lyrics, but we still have like quite a bit of song left. So I'm assuming we're going to do like instrumental, which love. There's something like so laid back about this. And maybe this is just his delivery on this song. I don't know if this is an outlier or what. I love his cadence. I love the production around this. It's timed so well. I'm trying to think of the way I would describe this. It's not meant to overwhelm. It's meant to really amplify his voice without taking away from anything. It's got that beautiful piano and it's got these perfectly timed hits where it almost sounds like a gunshot or something, you know, in those, and the stops and there's something about it that for me, so well done. I love the sound. Man don't really want to walk to the shop or jump in the train because the ends got tension. I love that because the ends got tension. One eye on my ops, two eyes on my friends. Love, because then we go to, because at least with my ops, man knows their intentions. That reminds me a little bit of that line we had just had in like one of the Kendrick features. I think it was actually Big Sean. I'd rather you just say that you hate me versus being fake and phony. And that is a similar energy, right? At least with ops, you know they're against you. You know that they want to take you down. But with your friends, people who you consider to be friends, absolutely loved these next two lines. I turned a loss to a lesson. I turned a curse to a gift and a blessing. Bars. But I got 99 out of 100 marks in class on my English questions. I'd get the same if I did it again because I still don't know the definition of restin'. I'm obsessed with that. I've put blood in, I've put sweat in, I've shed tears when I got sentenced. I spent years with my in the street slum. Is that how you say that? Which I'm pretty sure is isn't that like by Brixton, which is where I said he was from, right? Or like lived at one point. I think that's what we read earlier. But you wouldn't know that because you don't live this. What have you done for your siblings? I made sure that the family suite so many days that I starved myself just to make sure that my whole family eats. The Merc is a beast. I'm blacking it out. 1.9 on the plan for a house. I ain't got a memory of when dad was around. Still a child when I turned man of the house. Tell me what you know about a bag full of bills and your mama crying out saying, son, I can't take it. And then staring in the mirror for an hour with a tear in your eye like I gotta make it. Ever seen a good friend turn pagan? And that tying so well into not only earlier saying like the pay and pagan, but also keeping the one eye and the two eyes thing. You're either a lamb or Hannibal. Damn. Good kid, but I grew up around animals. No chick can't tell me about attitude. I got a girl from the Screwface capital. I do feel like you learned a lot about him in such a small amount of lines. He painted such a picture with that, which is not an easy task.
Girl from the Screwface capital.
I'm obsessed with that. I love the idea of leaving that open space. I don't know why sometimes I feel this way, but there are some times where I feel like this outro is so intentional. I don't know if sometimes it's the production, sometimes it's the length, sometimes I think it's a combination. Every time there's a long instrumental outro, I don't feel this way. But there are some songs that feel so intentional where it almost feels like the artist is saying, sit with that. There's enough in there to make you want to keep listening because it sounds so interesting, but it's not overwhelming enough to where you can't still be thinking, whether that be, hey, sit back and think about your own privileges in comparison to what he's experienced, or if you're someone who can understand those struggles, resonates with the messages that he's talking about, it would give that person a chance to be like feeling, kind of seen, heard, understood. It holds space for that, regardless of how you resonate with the song or not. And I don't know if that's what it's meant to say, but that's how it feels to me. And I love songs like that. Well, I'm obsessed with that. I'm obsessed with every bit of that. I'm super excited to get to the next one. Heart Attack from his 2021 album. I love this title. All three of these albums, I love the titles. Psychodrama, love. This one, we're all alone in this together. I do need you to know that when I was typing that into my notes, I did originally type, all in this together. I was like, I feel like that's not right. And I looked again and was like, dyslexia and High School Musical got me again. And it's actually we're all alone in this together, which, for the record, way better title. So intriguing. But I did just want to share that with you because, beautiful cover. I really hope we can do these albums soon because I'd like to get vinyls, and it feels a little weird buying a vinyl for a record I haven't heard yet. The point is that I loved the first one and I love this one. And I haven't seen The Boy Who Played Harp, I think that's right, yet, but just on the title alone, I feel like it's got to be cool, right? Okay, this is neither here nor there. This is in almost 10 minutes. Okay. I'll just be here.
Knife crime is at a near record high, with more than 40 blade offences every day in London.
At a youth club in South London, not far from where someone was stabbed less than 24 hours ago, he outlined a direct link between violent crimes, social exclusion and austerity. A study by City Hall found that London has seen an increase of 71% in victims of serious youth violence since 2012. The mayor says this is linked to an increase in poverty, with the highest rates of violence taking place in some of the poorest boroughs.
I bet them boys think I'm panicking. Check what my young G's are carrying. It's blade same length as a javelin. I don't know about B-ball or what's happening, but know that it's fucked if he's travelling and we see him. I can't lie, I was depressed at phases. I was 19 when the team nearly left him faceless, hoping that we never left no traces. You know when you're so damn tired in your house, but you can't sleep cause you got pending cases. I used to love tempting fate, but now it's tempting faces. For half my career I was part of that. My best friend got a burner and it's looking like an artifact. Put it in your puffer or your Prada hat. Like fuck panic, that's a heart attack.
Oh, the sound? Is this how all of his stuff sounds? Guys, I get it. I feel like I say that in all these videos, but like I get it. I understand. Not only like lyrically, there's obviously a lot here, and I know there's probably a lot that I'm going to miss, especially because I'm sure a lot of the references are going to be like more UK based. And while I do feel like I have, maybe a bit above average understanding given how much international TV, especially UK based TV, I watch, while I do feel like that probably helps, I'm not under any impression that I'm, gonna get a lot, right? So I'm sure there's a lot more that I'm not even getting, but just from what I can see, I'm loving it. But then you add in this type of production and his voice. I'm unwell. Okay. Sorry. I feel bad like smiling because of obviously like what we're talking about here, but it just sounds, oh my gosh. Okay. Like fuck panic. That's a heart attack. Damn. And that intro talking about what's been happening and the increase in crime, violent crime, social exclusion, and austerity. Yep. Having all of that be the intro, though, is so powerful and just really sets the tone and sets the stage of what he's going to be talking about. Look, I bet them boys think I'm panicking. Check out my young G's are carrying. His blade the same length as a javelin. I don't know about B-ball or what's happening, but I know that it's fucked if he's traveling. And we see him. I can't lie, I was depressed at phases. I like the way he said that. There's something about that that feels, I mean, he may just be talking about phases of his life, but there's something about that when you say in phases, it kind of gives me the energy of like highs and lows, maybe like manic depression. I don't know, when you say I was depressed at phases, feels differently than saying, and maybe it's just because of the rhyme scheme, but I don't know, there's something about that that feels less bouts of depression and it feels more, I don't know. He was 19 when the team nearly left him faceless. And saying like team basketball, hoping that we never left no traces. You know when you're so damn tired in your house, but you can't sleep because you got pending cases. I used to love tempting fate, but now it's tempting faces. For half my career, I was part of that. My best friend got a burner and it's looking like an artifact. Put it in your puffer or your Prada hat. Like, fuck panic, that's a heart attack. Not to diminish what a panic attack feels like, but it's like, that almost feels like you're acting like this increase in violence and increase in unrest that's being caused by the social exclusion, the austerity, issues with like socioeconomic class division. These things that are continuing to happen are creating these issues. And while a panic attack feels like you're dying, and often people will think they're having, like if you've ever had a panic attack, there's a part of you that's like, am I having a heart attack? But he's saying this is not a panic attack type situation. This is an actual heart attack. And you're not treating it as such, is what that feels like to me. Obviously, we'll know more as we go on, but that's what it kind of feels like.
Like, fuck panic, that's a heart attack. Yeah, it's like life's so fucked in the time that we're in. We're fighting the world and we're fighting within. Somali dad ran away from a war, now his son's in a war, that's the cycle we're in. I know niggas that didn't do time in a bin, that have never had freedom of mind. Are you sick? Round here, main way to provide for your kin is in a flip blade, little push bike and a sim. In London, a place where it's nicer to live is only 5 minutes out from the guys on the strip, where man made yay work. Heard he a soldier, I know that nigga hasn't got balls like grey work. As I grow older, change of perspective. I gotta stay loyal to my girl, that's the trait she was blessed with. Restaurants, raves with my brethrens. Life's too short, so we gotta turn up. Man, talk on my ting for the gram, it's intrusive. I never really thought about taking a life till I found out my ex-girl's dad is abusive. I felt, how could I be a man and not do shit? I'm on the way there now and I don't wanna lose it, but fighting her battle's only hurting a girl. How can I protect her from the world when I couldn't even protect her from myself? On my grandmother's grave, shit happens again. I put a knife through a family friend. Most of the women that I know had shit happened to them. So innocent till guilty ain't something that I have to respect. I think back to my youth and I was so ungrateful. How many of our parents had dreams they abandoned so they could put food on the table? Intelligent, worthy and able to somebody's parent. You know? And that affected the way that I see shit. Nightclub toilet. You peed on the seat cause you don't know how it feels when your mum's got a clean shit. And her boss treats her like she don't even mean shit. And she gotta wait for the bus in the rain and it's freezing. The miss said that you won't ever be shit. And you don't wanna cry about dad, but you need him. I grew up so fucked, but I didn't even deep it. I'm numb to the feeling of grieving. A man getting birded. African mums on the floor just screaming. It's mad car, try so hard. Death's gotta be easy cause life's so hard. I was 12 wishing that I was a white man hardcore. If I was, then he probably wouldn't life man's dogs. I was dead broke, fam, I couldn't swipe man's card. And time might pass, but I still gotta stay with it. It wasn't his beef, but I see him try claiming it. That's why he caught a bullet with another man's name on it. Now we can't do leg day or put strain on it. Every time you hear me freestyle, I put pain in it. I used to wonder, does God have favorites? Touch me, it's dangerous. I wouldn't play with it, cause you can go sleep and have a different type of wake for it. I miss my dogs, unstable, you violate Kristen Ra, turn Chris Benoit. Have him hit from far now, fill him up with bricks and glass. Now my young G's will grip them blast. Have you tried in the street? Fuck finding my feet. I could ride, but it's better when I'm riding a beat. My emotions are peak, it ain't a sign of defeat or the weak. I wouldn't see chewed and cried in my sleep. Dropped just 2 racks and told him buy the machine. I'm LeBron in Miami, I provide for the heat. God strike me if I'm lying, I ain't crying in this beef unless the tears coming tatted on the side of my cheek. I provide for my peeps, the lamb white in the seat. So I'm literally a wolf, disguised in a sheep. You have 5-figure dreams, I have 5-figure sleep. 5 hours more than enough time that I need. Man want a fair fight, but I ain't on it when we see him. Fuck honor, this revolver is onomatopoeic. Let it tut when you see him. Free scales, free seeing, free my niggas till I see him. I wouldn't wanna be him. My OG's roaming, I don't need a coliseum. You see it?
I really hope the audio isn't going to be screwed up on this, because I don't know how I'm supposed to talk about this song in a reasonable amount of time. There is so much to talk about that I feel like I can't even talk about it, because I'm like, he's just, well, first of all, I say this as the highest compliment possible. I just want to make sure no one thinks I'm saying this is like a bad thing. He's so good at explaining what he's talking about, explaining what he means, that it's like, you know everything he's talking about. I don't need to sit here. I'm still going to talk about it, but I'm just saying, like, I don't need to sit here, go through the lyrics and make sure I uncover meaning. I'm not saying there aren't deeper layers, but what I'm saying is like, he's so good at setting the scene, telling you what he's going to talk about, showing that in his life experience and the things that he's seen in a way that's like, you don't have to dig to understand everything he's saying, to have that emotion just like hit you in the chest. It's how we treat people when we let greed run the world. When you know that there is enough resources available to provide for every human on this earth to have food, shelter, running water, basic necessities, and we just don't do it because of a myriad of reasons that are all fucked up. We don't do it because of the greed. And in that greed conversation, I'm including things like, you know, going into other countries to get the resources, starting unnecessary wars and genocides for things like that, because of where people live, what inherent value you've placed upon their life, because of people's skin color, because of where they were born, because of their religion, because of who they love, because of their gender or lack of gender. That's what it all boils down to that. I understand that it comes across as like, oh, you make it sound so easy and it's more complex than that. But is it? Is it really that complicated when you know that all of the resources to provide for every human in this world exist, and that the only thing preventing that is those types of issues? That's insanity. I just don't get it. Oh, okay. Sorry. I so appreciate not only like sharing his perspectives and all this honesty, but it's like he is also showing the world is full of gray. The world is never black and white, right? It's just not. It is a whole spectrum of colors. It's all the shades of gray. His experience has shaped him, and he sees the things and the impacts and the ramifications of decisions that are made from people who are the greedy, who are the racist, who are the xenophobic people, who are the bigots, who are the misogynists, who are the homophobic, transphobic, like the list goes on, that help perpetuate this environment that systematically oppresses people. And then when those people are pushed towards things, it wants to vilify, refuses to acknowledge its own initial acts of violence towards the people. And it's like, does it justify every action? No. But to act like that initial act of violence in creation of these oppressive environments, a refusal to acknowledge that there is an issue there. That's not even getting into the deeper, darker underbelly of it all, where you can go into the like how much of that is actually being pushed into these places where there are vulnerable populations. Like, even without even getting into that, which is obviously a very important piece to this, but like, even if you're just looking at it from the surface level of creating these environments where people are struggling and wanting to provide for themselves, protect their families, protect themselves, all of these things, right? That is a part of it, you know? And I appreciate him talking about how it is hard. Somalian dad ran away from a war. Now his son's in a war, and that's the cycle we're in. I know that didn't do time in the bin, that have never had freedom of the mind. Are you sick? Around here, main way to provide for your kin is a flick blade, a little push bike, and a sim. In London, a place where it's nicer to live, it's only 5 minutes out from guys on the strip. Where man making yay work, heard he's a soldier. As I grow older, change of perspective. And this is where I'm talking about, it's not just the gaps in the aftermath, it's the gaps that led to the environment. He talks about it in so many different ways. You know, what happens when you see something bad happen, but you know things aren't going to be addressed, and how do you live with that? Case in point, him talking about the abuse that his girl has had at the hands of her father, and him wanting to protect and wanting to create justice for that, but then understanding that that also means that he himself would have to commit the violence. That is not a black and white issue. How could I be a man and not do shit? And there's that aspect too. That also brings in that idea of like the man, the protector. And I don't say this as like anything against what he's saying, but I'm just saying that expectation of men too, right? I'm not saying that he's wrong for feeling that way. That's not what I'm getting at either. But it's just that patriarchal society does bleed into other facets too. Again, I don't mean that in regards to what he's saying here, but it does make me think of like, oh, you know, him saying I have to be the man of the house. And in the last song, there's so many facets that create this environment, but fighting her battles only hurting the girl. How can I protect her from the world when I couldn't even protect her from myself? On my grandmother's grave, shit happens again. I put a knife through a family friend. Most of the women that I know had shit happen to them. Yep. And that too, right? Even the idea of understanding how many women are victims of sexual assault, sexual abuse, those stats are so high, and yet still women rarely get justice. There's still always that perpetuating thing of she made it up, and all the stigmas around victims and not believing the stats. And it's like, if you just created a safe enough space to where women felt comfortable enough to talk to you, you can go to all the women in your family, and I promise you, they have been touched when they didn't want to, harassed. The fact that this is brushed off as if this is not in of itself inappropriate, no one should have the right to touch you anywhere on your body, but especially in intimate places. That is enough. That is still assault. That is still crossing boundaries. And the fact that people like write off, not to mention that, again, stats are way higher than that, but I don't know of a woman in my life who could say that they had not been touched inappropriately. Like the amount of people random out and about who think it's appropriate to like touch your butt or like graze against your chest. The amount of times people have like touched me, I don't know a woman in my life who that has not happened to, truly. And then you want to go to other forms of assault, that number is still staggering. And yet people have the audacity to continue to argue against the data, perpetuate the stigmas, make it harder to help victims feel safe enough to come forward, to actually punish abusers. So innocent till guilty ain't something I have to respect. I think back to my youth and I was ungrateful. How many of our parents had dreams they abandoned so they could put food on the table? Intelligent, worthy, and able. That's someone's parent. I think about that a lot. We put so much emphasis on people's productivity and value based on output here in the US. I can really only speak to that, right? But just that idea of like, people are going to be lazy, and small example, but houses and buildings and stuff like that. It's not just that we've made it so cookie cutter and all that stuff because of mass production, but it's also a loss in the actual craftsmanship, right? In the arts of skills that were taught and handed down, like masonry. And people have been pushed into this type of work output and industrialization and all of this, right? It's also a loss in art forms and those crafts and those skills, because these have become like dying art forms because we don't put a value in arts and humanities in the same way. I think about all the time, if people's basic necessities were covered, right? If we tax people in a way that was actually fair and distributed wealth better, made the gap of socioeconomic class division smaller, and people's basic needs were met when it comes to food, shelter, healthcare, all of these things, access to education. In the US, so many people use that as like, oh, everyone's going to be lazy and stay home. That's just not true. If the pandemic didn't prove that, most people do not want to just sit and veg for the rest of their life. Most people enjoy doing things. And if people were allowed to actually go after their passions, and people were allowed to have access and overcome these barriers, financial barriers, putting food on the table, like how much more advanced as a society could we be because someone who has this brilliant idea could never actually do it because of where they grew up or the color of their skin? How many people would revive these arts and humanities that we need and that we're losing every day because they know they can't afford to do that? It's so sad to know that people aren't living out their dreams and chasing their passions, able to share their own inherent gifts with the world because billionaires wants more money and has convinced us that people aren't going to work. I mean, it's like these broad ideas that he also focuses in with details that really stand out. How many of our parents had dreams they abandoned, despite them being intelligent, worthy, and able? And then he zeroes in and shows you an example. Beautiful storytelling. Nightclub toilet, you peed on the seat because you don't know how it feels when your mama's gotta clean shit and her boss treats her like she don't ever mean shit. And she's gotta wait for the bus in the rain and it's freezing. He zeroes in on this example. Every action you do has an impact on the world. And even these things that you may think is small, instead of just cleaning up after yourself, you assume there's no need. Someone will do it. He's using the small example of what his mom's experienced and then keeps building on it. So it's not just that she has to do this task, it's also the environment in which she has to do the task. Her boss even treats her like she doesn't mean anything. So it's not just the act of what you did in this nightclub, assuming that it's going to be taken care of, but it's also the fact that the environment in which she works in is also bad. And then he continues to build on it by saying like, and she has to do this in the freezing rain. And was that her dream? No. The way he's constructed this is just so well done. And you don't want to cry about dad, but you need him. I grew up so fucked, but I didn't even deep it. I'm numb to the feeling of grieving. Again, big concept, big idea. I don't want to cry about dad. Why do we not want to cry about dad? Most likely, patriarchy, right? We tell men that they are not allowed to have emotions unless they're a specific set of emotions. You can be angry, but you can't cry because you've assigned emotions with being feminine. And of course, feminine is bad in this instance, less than. And I've said it before and I'll say it again, patriarchy does not just hurt women, it hurts men too. Bottling things up, being so worried, it shows up in interpersonal relationships. It shows up in your body by not processing your emotions. It just layers. And then building on that of like, so his dad isn't here. And then also building on the fact of like how his emotions and the things that he's seen has made him numb. Because not only is it the patriarchy, but it's also the exposure, right? It's the exposure of the environment that's been created that he's living in, where he's seen so much death and pain that he feels numb to it. So someone getting birded, African moms on the floor just screaming. It's mad because I try hard. It's not from lack of trying. That's got to be easy because life's so hard. Damn, that's a line. And then I was 12 wishing that I was a white man. Hard. Time might pass, but I gotta stay with it. It wasn't his beef, but I see he trying to claim it. That's why he caught a bullet with another man's name on it. Now he can't do leg day or put a strain on it. Every time you hear me freestyling, I put pain in it. Oof. I used to wonder, does God have favorites? Just all of this. I mean, seriously, all of this is incredible. And we're not even halfway. I did love that I could ride, but it's better when I'm riding a beat. My emotions are peak. It ain't a sign of defeat or the weak. Then cried in my sleep. So I'm literally a wolf disguised in a sheep. Was not expecting, and I did really love the fuck honor, this revolver is onomatopoeic. And then to do the, my old G's roaming, I don't need a coliseum.
You see it? So I'm playing it good, let hood politics stay in the hood, fuck the internet. You see this new generation, they're insta beefing and I ain't into speaking. When I ducked down, I had him running in a lift like he missed a meeting. There's no good reason to risk your freedom. The youths them snitching and bitches sneaking. She don't wanna talk about friendship, she just wanna deal with a pipe like I'm fixing leaking. And sleep with a legend like Chrissy Teigen. Where I'm from, the word life has a different meaning. Man smile in your face but them niggas scheming. Try involve me in a flaky dealing. Sistine Chapel, I'ma paint the ceiling. I've been violated and I hate the feeling. That's why nowadays man hates the preaching. We smile in a visit cause we ain't defeated. The Supreme Court, so my mates appealing. I can't breathe that girl, that's torture. South London is just slags in a corner and influencers trying to bag them a baller. She a gold digger, I can tell from her aura. Her social say princess, she a pauper. When it's time for it, need more for my daughter. Call me a talker, but man are getting lined like lambs in a slaughter. It's life threatening and I can tell from the borer. Cut through a nigga like a knife through flora. Feds got the guys on a case and they stalk us. It's a conspiracy like tinfoil hats in a new world order. Touch me, you better have a life insurer. Bloodthirsty, I got sharks in the water. And trust me, I know a killer well, no orca. Have you ever seen a nightmare brought to life? Where I'm from, you get chefed on a normal night. Man talk on my name, but it's porcupines. I really put it in a prick like a porcupine. Little bro wanna save for a 45. Go board a flight, there's more to life. Youths on the M6 all the time. We don't need TFL for a northern line. All the best politicians been taught to lie. When do they buy cocaine when they're snorting white? Are their dealers safe on the borderline? It's ironic cause we don't know where to draw the line. Man see Blue Story, they're mortified. Man see Scarface and it's glorified. Cause when you're black, everything gets scrutinized. That's why they call it urban, it gets euphemized. South London, man are getting euthanized. I see a youth's demise, I wasn't too surprised. He got soaked, but his right hand scuba dive. Don't die by a sword that you used to shine. You can drown for your king. You don't know about Ophelia, cause we got iron. I don't know about anemia, I took the hard road. We don't know about the easier. One bag of whores and drug paraphernalia. When ends got sticky, had a flicky with Amelia. I mean Olivia, this ain't Libya, this ain't Syria. You act sillier, we let it seep in your skin like Nivea. Who wants to be a millionaire? I won it, never done a game show or trivia. I done Wandsworth, Elstoke Visitor. I done Spring Hill, Grendon, Swinfen, Whitemore, Swellside, Brixton Visitor. I done M-Way trips, done shit that I wish I never did because I could have been a prisoner. Is this the shit that appeals to the listeners? Road ain't no amazing life. The end's full of snakes and jails, just a waste of time. I told my young G's take your time. Fuck jazz, you could really see a major 9. Yo, I'm so ashamed of how I used to get figures. Man sell you a dream like the road things lit and then they leave out the parts where you're burying your niggas or in jail, wondering who's putting dick inside your missus. I'm so fucking determined. I was in intensive care when I was born. Mummy fell down the stairs. Whether I was gonna live or not was something uncertain. I used the word fell with the commas inverted. You see, growing up I had it far from perfect, but nobody did, so I'm a normal person. I gotta be grateful. We all have demons and all see angels, or maybe it's me. A black youth's more than a face on a screen, a number on a laptop or name on a sheet. We got stories to tell and got places to be. From a heart, that's the making of me.
I was selling, look, I was selling tomatoes. I said.
The production dropping out. I kept thinking like I'm gonna pause and I was just like, no, like you just gotta let him speak. You just gotta let him speak. I'm not trying to write this off, but like there is too much to talk about in this song. And that's what makes it such an incredible song. The way he tells the story, the way he blends in the broader issues mixed in with his own experience and like very specific things, how that's all woven is like, that's something else. That's just like, I hate to use these words like incredible because I feel like it feels weird to use these terms that sound positive in relation to the topics, right? So it's like separating the topics, his ability to create, his artistry, his brain, like that is the incredible part. The topics are so like gut-wrenching and honest, and I just want to talk about a few things. I could go on about this for hours, but I just so I'm playing it. Okay, Dobby. So I'm playing it good. Let the hood politics stay in the hood. Fuck the internet. And then kind of talking about, generation, insta beef. And I ain't into speaking. No good reason to risk your freedom. Where I'm from, the word life has a different meaning. Man smiling in your face, but them scheming. Try involving me in a flaky dealing. Sistine Chapel, I'ma paint the ceiling. I've been violated. And I hate the feeling. That's why nowadays, man hates the preaching. When we use the word violated, it just to me gives the connotation of sexual abuse. However, it could just be in general. I could see it on multiple levels, right? Because it's like the Sistine Chapel, and then bringing that in with like the preaching, the hypocrisy of like, for example, the church is the ones who have such an issue with drag queens or people who identify as trans and often accuse them of the very behavior and abuse that the church has been proven time and time again to be an epicenter of. The data of those occurrences versus anything to do with someone who identifies as trans or someone who participates in drag, guess who's the most dangerous to children? And yet, same institutions that, at least in the US, often have to have insurance because of how likely it is that abuse cases will come up. So saying like violated, I hate the feeling, that's why a man hates preaching. Like I could see it on that level, and I could see it not just being about that specific issue. I could see it being about rights have been violated or just being violated in the way that you're being treated. You know what I mean? So when people are up on their high horses preaching about things that they don't understand, things that they don't know, things that they haven't experienced, I could see it as that too. Social say princess, she a pauper. But again, too, right? Like it is the both. It seems like he's talking about the types of women that he has seen around in his environment where he grew up. But it's also recognizing that those same women are in a system that also has their own set of issues. If they're women of color, they have that aspect of it, but they also have the patriarchy and misogynists. They are looked at differently. They are sexualized. They are victims who are not being believed. There's so many layers of that intersectionality there, being products of environments that have been created, not just from socioeconomic class divide, which he's already talked about when it comes to the place in which he grew up. That's also another aspect of that environment is what happens to like women in those spaces, right? And what's expected of them and what they're trying to do to survive. There's so many different avenues, but then it's also like him saying, okay, but is it wrong of me to not want that? And again, I think that's why this song does so good at showing the grays, right? Because it's like earlier we talked about the girl he was talking about, right? What she endured. Later on, here we are talking about women again, but it's a different approach. It's a different way of viewing. I can't breed that girl. That's torture. And say, she's just a gold digger. Her socials say princess. She's a pauper. And it's like, is it wrong for him to not want to be in that situation? No, but is it also that you have to acknowledge why sometimes women seek out certain things or perhaps shut down their emotions and just look for financial stability because of perhaps what they've experienced and lived through? It's not a black and white issue. It's more complicated. When it's time for it, need more for my daughter, which also means creating an environment and a space where his daughter wouldn't have to feel the need to do these things or experience trauma in the same way that maybe led to some of the ways that he's portraying some of the women he's been around. You know what I mean? Lambs to the slaughter. Yeah, and then talking about, you know, like the government aspect too. You know, feds got the case. They stalk us. It's a conspiracy. Tinfoil hats in a new world order. I liked the bloodthirsty. I got sharks in the water, and trust me, I know a killer whale, no orca. Have you ever seen a nightmare brought to life? Go board a flight. There's more to life. Utes is like youth, right? So Utes on the M6 all the time. We don't need TFL. That's transportation. London right? TF, right? Hold on. Yeah, transportation for London. Utes on the M6 all the time. And that's a road. We don't need TFL for Northern Line. I'm assuming there's significance there. I don't think I know enough about what that would allude to, but it's one of those things where it's like, I understand in theory what it's saying, but I don't understand the context enough to understand the impact of what he's saying. Jesus. Hello, filming. What's up? Oh, okay. So you're still feeling like all the effects. You also, I told you, that's what I'm trying to say. You can't expect me to allow you to gift me things without me being able to do it back. You're going to jump up for joy and pretend like you have...
Like I've never seen that shit.
Oh, the drugs are wearing off?
Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe not talking will help, but I'm glad you called me to tell you... I'm glad you called me to tell me that you loved me.
Are you on drugs? You can't talk very well.
No, I've just been filming for a really long time.
You go back to what you're doing.
Okay, well, I love you.
Love you, say bye.
Bye. She calls me and she sounds off and she's like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm filming. Like, I need to, you know, finish filming. She was like, oh, I was just calling you. And I was like, okay. And she was like, I just wanted to call you to tell you that I loved you. And I was like, she sounded off. And then she sang that. And I was like, are you okay? Is something wrong? Someone there with you? Is she trying to act cool, calm, and collected because she's found herself somewhere there, you know what I mean? Like what? And she goes, no, I just wanted to tell you that I loved you because I was thinking about you. And I was like, are you okay? And she goes, well, I was just thinking about you after I had my mouth surgery. And I was like, oh. I said, how long ago did you have the mouth surgery? And she goes, I'm home. And I was like, okay, when did you get done at the doctor? She goes, I got home, maybe it's getting close to an hour. And I was like, oh, so you're still like feeling, she goes, well, I guess so. And I was like, okay, that's why you sound terrifying right now. Jeez Louise. Okay. Anyways, that was mildly terrifying. I did love all the best politicians been taught to lie. And all the stuff with the line, man see the blue story, they're mortified. Man see Scarface, it's glorified. And this, because when you're black, everything gets scrutinized. That's why they call it urban. It gets euphemized. You give me this, and like we don't have the time for me to go on a Shakespeare soapbox, depending on the way that you feel about Ophelia's death. And that compounded with how you feel about her relationship with Hamlet, that does change my interpretation of the line. And we simply don't have the time for that because I could talk about that for a good 3 hours. And I wish I was kidding, but I'm not. Little podcast moment. I jumped all around when I went down this rabbit hole, and I'm sitting here editing. It has me about as mad as the Mad Hatter, so I'm just gonna go ahead and attempt to make this a bit more concise, again without getting too much into this, because I truly could talk about this for way longer than anyone would care to listen to me talk about it. So obviously I love a good Hamlet, especially Ophelia reference. When he brings in the image of someone drowning for their king and then connects that to Ophelia, it opens up this whole layer about loyalty and power, revenge, collateral damage, But because Hamlet is, in a lot of ways, a story about revenge cycles that keeps expanding until almost everyone in the story is destroyed by it, with the exception of his own right-hand man, best friend, if you will, which I think connects really well back to the previous line. Hamlet's entire plot is kind of set in motion by his father's murder, and he becomes consumed by revenge. And whether he is truly mad or he's only pretending, the pursuit of justice creates a chain reaction. For example, like he kills Polonius, which then pushes Laertes into his own revenge arc, which by the end of it, Hamlet and Laertes are both caught up in the same like violent logic, which is their father was killed, revenge was demanded. That final image of that is really fitting here because Hamlet dies by a poisoned blade in Laertes' own revenge plot, which mirrors the poison that killed his father and started the whole chain of events in the first place. So when he says not to die by the same sword you used to shine, I hear that as a warning about being destroyed by the very violence, loyalty, or code that you thought was protecting you. It's that idea of the weapon you carry becoming the thing that kills you. And then when you add in Ophelia, that adds a whole other layer, especially because she is not the person who's driving the revenge, but she is still destroyed by it. She's surrounded by men who make decisions around her for her father, her brother, Hamlet, the king, as well as just the court in general. She becomes a pawn in the politics of court, in Hamlet's performance of his madness, in the large patriarchal structure of the play. Whether there was love on both sides, as well as if you read her death as intentional, accidental, ambiguous, that proximity to Hamlet and the power struggle around him, and the way that she's treated by her own father and brother leads to her demise. And I do think you can take that deeper in multiple different ways depending on your interpretation of Ophelia's character and ultimately her death. But again, we don't have time for that. It's why the line about drowning for your king hit so hard for me, is because Ophelia is not literally dying in a simple or like heroic sense. She's swallowed up by a world of kings, fathers, sons, revenge, control, and the patriarchy. One of the casualties in a system that she didn't create, but she's forced to live under. I think that connects really well to the broader themes of the song. He's talking about violence, survival, betrayal, classism, racism, trauma, and the cycles that people inherit before they've ever really gotten to choose. He talks about women throughout the song, his mother's pain and all of her sacrifices, what it's like for her to live in the world. The woman that he wants to protect when he finds out that she suffered abuse at the hands of her father. Even the women that he speaks about in a more complicated way later on. Ophelia is a really powerful reference here because she represents what happens to people trapped inside these systems built by other people's, greed, violence, ego, grief, revenge, all of that. So to me, the Hamlet reference is not just about Ophelia drowning. It's about how revenge can create casualties. It's about how loyalty can become self-destruction. How people with the least power are often the ones who end up paying the price for a world that they didn't build. We have to move on. We have to move on. I don't want to move on, but I have to move on. We got iron. I don't know about anemia. I took the hard road. We don't know about the easier. God, there's just so much in here. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? The show I Won It. Never done a game, show, or trivia. Is this the shit that appeals to the listeners? Road Ain't No Amazing Life. The inn's full of snakes and jails, just a waste of time. I tell my young G's, take your time. Man, sell you a dream like the road tings lit. And then he leave out the parts where you're burying or in jail wondering who's putting inside your missus. I'm so fucking determined. It's just the way he tells the story and bounces around, but it still all fits so well. I was born in intensive care when I was born. Mama fell down the stairs. Whether I was going to live or not was something uncertain. And then I used the word fell with commas inverted. I'm assuming he's alluding to it being an accident, but it wasn't. That's what I get out of that. I'm assuming that's what he means. Like someone pushed her. You see, growing up, I had it far from perfect, but nobody did, so I'm a normal person. I gotta be grateful. We all have demons and all see angels. Then you feel guilty. It's that feeling of, if everyone's got shit, then my shit isn't worth complaining about, or like I don't have the right to feel this way, or people have it worse, so I can't. And it's like, that's not how emotions work. That's not how trauma works. More than a face on a screen, a number on a laptop, or a name on a sheet, we got stories to tell and got places to be. From my heart, that's the making of me. Oh my God.
That's the making of me.
I was selling tomatoes. I sat, my leg hurts. I struggled because I didn't want to suffer again. I just wanted, it just made me so upset. 3 times I tried to call me. I went to Hungary, they sent me back. I tried so much. He has not seen anything yet. I was in detention camp for months and years. I didn't give up. I was not even 20 when I left Africa. I was determined to survive. I was determined to succeed. I didn't know anybody. Nobody was ready to help me. Even when you were born, you were 6 weeks old. This one is not even Africa. It's this nation. I was on the street for 3 years. I had 3 babies in my hands. Nobody let me in. Nobody in this nation. I couldn't pay my rent. They bought it. That's coming. I didn't give up. I carry my babies everywhere. And now this is how baby back for all those pain that I go through. Every day I lay in my bed, I'm in pain to see what he's doing to me. Want to kill me. Want to kill me.
Oh. Fuck. I have to look. I think I got most of that, but I need to look those up because they're not on Apple Music. God, when she said she's in so much pain. Oh. I was selling tomatoes. I sat upon my 2 hands. I struggled because I didn't want to suffer again. I just wanted, it just made me so upset. 3 times I tried to come here. I went to Hanover, they sent me back. I tried so much. He has not seen anything yet. I was in detention camps for months and years. I didn't give up. I was not even 20 when I left Africa. I was determined to survive. I was determined to succeed. I didn't know anybody. Nobody was ready to help me. Even when you were born, you were 6 weeks old. This one is not even Africa. It's this nation. I was on the streets for 3 years. I have 3 babies in my hand. Nobody let me in. Nobody in this nation. I couldn't pay my rent. Deported gangsters carried. I didn't give up. I carried my babies everywhere. And this is how pay me back for all those pain that I go through. Every day I lay in my bed, I'm in pain. See what he's doing to me. Is that his mom? That name, that last name is at the end of the credits on here for the David. So I'm assuming that's his mom. I just will never get over the lack of empathy people have for people who are just trying to escape to have a better life. The first thing I think of, and I just don't understand why this isn't the initial reaction for everyone. If you happen to be born somewhere else and you were in danger, are you telling me that you wouldn't do anything you could to try to find a place for a better life, to try to survive, to try to protect your family, regardless of borders or whatever? I mean, obviously I don't know her situation, but it sounds like she's saying she did try to like come the right way multiple times. But I'm not even talking about that. Like, I'm talking about people who just illegally cross borders. Telling me you can't have any empathy for someone who's running for their life to try to protect them and their family. You can't imagine that you would do the same. I'm sorry, but that's bullshit. Most people will try to fight for their survival. Wow. I know I didn't even touch what I'm aware that I didn't even scratch the surface of the song. I mean, it has taught me that if we do get to do his albums in the future, I'm pretty sure I should assume that I don't know that they'll be in a one video. They may have to be a 2-part video if a lot of his songs are like this, because I'm getting close. By the time we're done with the 3rd song, I'm telling you, we're probably going to be at the time it takes me to do an album. Maybe that's being a little, we'll see. We'll see how much we do in this last one. I haven't even begun to process that song. Holy shit. God, the music was beautiful. The way that stripped down and then came back in, honestly, that song alone, it makes me just want to buy the album, because not to listen to it without you guys, but like, oh, okay. Oh, remember when I was talking about the cover? And I was like, it's probably going to be, yeah. That's beautiful. Holy shit. I love his album covers. Okay. This last thing we have is Raindance by Dave and Teams. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. And I think this one might have a music video. I'm so glad I'm all of the productions. Every time. Is this what all of his stuff sounds like? I know I said that earlier, but like, I'm genuinely unwell thinking about these albums existing with this type of production as being like kind of his thing. With this type of production as being like kind of his thing.
Let's get the party started. See you at the bar, you was hardly talking. That's when I knew that your heart was scarring. Friends to lovers need a part to star in. Like, wait, babe, let me ask your pardon. This ain't Gucci, this is Prada, darling. If you want something, you can ask me, darling. And you started laughing, cause you think I'm joking. But looking in your eyes, that's the best thing. Bright lights giving you the red skin. You was in a bad mood when we stepped in. Though you checked out before we even checked in. On the phone, you gon' vent to your best friend, the one who gave me the lecture. But I ain't gon' sweat you, babe, I'm a lecture. Catch up with your boy, undress you, and let me tell you why I'm a blessing.
The way my mind falling away in my heart, I know you feel the same when you're with me. You know I'm all you need. You're where I wanna be, my darling. Can't you see? Tryna hide my feelings for you. Don't wanna argue, not with you. Tell me why you're so in denial. Hold me close, don't tell me goodnight. Are you down and get me? Tell me when you're ready. I'm ready.
I didn't even want to stop it. I'm like, in my head, I was like, dude, YouTube copyright, you gotta stop it. But I was like, but I really don't want to. But it's so beautiful. Oh my God. Who is this lovely person? Please, where have you been all my life? I wish I knew how to say that. Is it Teams or Tims? Nigerian singer-songwriter. Oh my God. Actually, that sounds kind of vaguely familiar. I feel like I've heard that name before. There's just too many amazing people out there that I just simply do not know. And that honestly hurts me. Like, it hurts me to know that I'm never going to be able to take in all the incredible art there is out there. That genuinely makes me upset. The main reason why I got obsessed with vampires growing up was because the idea of having immortality, specifically because of all the books I could read, the places I could visit, music I could hear, that was the draw. Okay, anyways, that's not the point. I love it. Let's get the party started. See you at the bar. You was hardly talking. That's when I knew that your heart was scarring. Friends to lovers need a part to star in. I love that, like the friends to lovers trope. Like, wait, babe, let me ask your pardon. If you want something, you can ask me, darling. And you started laughing because you think I'm joking. But looking in your eyes, that's the best thing. I love this. But the brake light's giving you the red skin, where I'm kind of taking that as like her putting up a wall, like wanting to put the brakes on it because she's like, I don't know about getting involved. You was in a bad mood from we stepping in. Girl, you checked out before we even checked in. Love that. On the phone, you're going to vent to your best friend, the one who gave me the lecture. But I ain't gonna sweat you, babe. I'm gonna let you catch up with your boy, undress ya, and let me tell you why I'm gonna bless ya. It sounds like you have past traumas and I'm trying to like make you feel like you can actually trust me and feel secure. And he's like acknowledging these things that it seems like he's seeing her, including the things that maybe make her want to pump the brakes, makes her feel like she can't trust. I see those things and I'm still here. And I'm gonna work hard to explain why I'm gonna bless you. It's the way my mind's falling away and my heart, I know you feel the same when you're with me. You know I'm all you need. You're where I wanna be. My darling, can't you see that I love you still into you? Say you want me in the mood, trying to hide my feelings for you. Didn't wanna argue with you. Tell me why you're so in denial. Hold me close, don't tell me goodnight. Are you down? When you're ready, I'm ready. So at first I thought it was like he doesn't know her, meaning like the one who gave me a lecture. I'm envisioning it first time he's meeting this person, but maybe it is someone who he's like reconnecting with. When he says friends to lovers need a, so I don't know if it's maybe they've been friends for a long time, but if you actually want more. Regardless, it's stunning. And the fact that it's a rain dance and it's like a sacred ceremony to like bring in the rain for things to grow, and that being representative of the relationship growing is beautiful.
We can get into it, and we can get intimate. The shower when you singing it, better than Beyonce. I like the sound of fiance. You know it's got a little ring to it, and really when I think of it, growing up I didn't ever see marriages. No weddings, no horse, no carriages. I wanna do things different and change the narrative. God knows you are a wild child, beautiful child, I need your help. Looking like you come from the 90s by yourself. My mum's 61 and her favorite line to tell her son is sometimes she wished that she had a girl. I wanna take you back to a time, back to a trip. You had that white wine that I never got to sip, and dinner was a ruin cause you never got the pick. I know that everybody tell me that I'm sick cause
The way my mind falling away in my heart, I know you feel the same when you're with me. You know I'm all you need. You're where I wanna be. My darling, can't you see? I love me and you, never let me go. Me and you, I tell you 2 times. Me and you, never let me go. Me and you, tell me 2 times. Me and you, never let me go. Me and you, tell me 2 times. Me and you, never let me go. Me and you, tell me 2
I
times.
said lean with it, rock with it. Your finger, I could put a rock in it. Finger, I could put a rock in it. Bank card, they gon' put a block in it. Said rock with it, bounce with it. The left wrist, I could put my house in it. You wanna bet, babe? I could put my house in it. Paper, I could put my spouse in it. I said shimmy, shimmy, yeah, shimmy, yeah. 5'9", brown eyes, and she in the shimmy, shimmy, yeah, shimmy, yeah. 5'9", brown eyes, and then shimmy, shimmy, yeah, shimmy, yeah. 5'9", brown eyes, and she in shimmy, shimmy, yeah, shimmy, yeah. 5'9", brown eyes.
I'm obsessed with that. I was not expecting that, but I'm obsessed with it. Okay, first thing, love that we have lean with it, rock with it. I'm assuming that's interpolation, right? Yeah. And the shimmy, shimmy, yeah. Stop. Fell into you. Say you want me in the mood. Trying to hide my feelings for you. Don't want to argue, not with you. Tell me why you're so in denial. Hold me close. Don't tell me goodnight. Are you down to get me? Tell me when you're ready. I'm ready. We can get into it or we can get intimate. The shower when you sing it better than Beyonce. I like the sound of fiance. All of that. The fiance, you know, it's got a little ring to it. And really, when I think of it, growing up, I didn't ever see marriages, no weddings, no horse, no carriages. I'm obsessed with this. I want to do things different and change the narrative. God knows you're a wild child, beautiful child. I need your help. Looking like you, why does that sound, God knows you a wild child, beautiful child. There's something about that that sounds, I need your help. Why does that remind me of something? Looking like you come from the 90s by yourself. My mom's 61, her favorite line to tell her son. I don't know why. That sounds familiar. I was thinking for a second, it was kind of like the lean with a rock with it and shimmy shimmy. Is that something? Do I just not?
God knows you are a wild child, beautiful child, I need your help. Looking like you come from the 90s by yourself. My mom's 61 and her favorite line to tell her son is sometimes she wished that she had a girl. I want to take you back to a time back.
I'm looking this up. There's something else. I just don't know what it is. Raindance interpolates from time by oh yeah. Yep, that is what it is. Lean with it, rock with it. You by Lloyd featuring Lil Wayne. I don't think I got that one. Shimmy shimmy yeah. Okay. Favorite line to tell her son is sometimes she wished that she had a girl. I want to take you back to a time, back to a trip. You had that white wine that I never got to sip, and dinner wasn't ruined because you never got the pick. I know that everybody tell me that I'm sick cause. Okay, so I think it is like a I'm trying to connect again type song. And it sounds like something happened. She got a picture of something. Now, whether that was like something that he wish he hadn't seen, or whether that's something that was sent to her about something he did, I don't think that's clear, at least to me. Well, if her heart is scarred, it's probably the latter. Okay, not the point. I love when they started kind of overlapping too. I said lean with it, rock with it, your finger, I could put a rock in it. All of that to change lean with it, rock with it into this. Like having that, is it being interpol? Like who thinks of that? I'm obsessed. I could put a rock, bank card, they're gonna put a block. Say rock with it, bounce with it. Your left wrist, I could put my house in it. Babe, I could put my spouse in it. Stop. Also, shout out to those of us who are 5'9". Love it. Wow. This has a music video too, and I would just love to listen to this again, so.
Let's get the party started. See you at the bar, you was hardly talking. That's when I knew that your heart was scarring. Friends to lovers need a part to star in, like, wait.
I love that it's got the shots where it looks like it's like a homemade, like, stop.
Babe, let me ask your pardon. This ain't Gucci. Friends to lovers need a part to star in, like, wait. Babe, let me ask your pardon. This ain't Gucci, this is Prada, darling. If you want something, you can ask me, darling. And you started laughing cause you think I'm joking, but looking in your eyes, that's the best thing. Bright lights giving you the red skin. You was in a bad mood when we stepped in. Though you checked out before we even checked in. On the phone, you gon' vent to your best friend, the one who gave me the lecture. But I ain't gon' sweat you, babe, I'm a lecture. Catch up with your boy, undress you, and let me tell you why I'm a blesser.
The way my mind falling away in my heart, I know you feel the same way. You're with me, you know I'm all you need. You're where I wanna be, my darling. Can't you see? I love you. I love you. I love you. Telling to you, say you want me in the mood. Tryna hide my feelings for you. Don't wanna argue, not with you. Tell me why you're so in denial. Hold me close, don't tell me goodnight. Are you down and get me? Tell me when you're ready. I'm ready.
We can get into it, and we can get intimate. The shower when you singing it, better than Beyonce. I like the sound of fiance. You know it's got a little ring to it, and really when I think of it, growing up I didn't ever see marriages. No weddings, no horse, no carriages. I wanna do things different and change the narrative.
This is so just like beautiful. I love how it's switching camcorder type style to like the regular. I'm obsessed with this. Also, the way he says darling is so, I hate to say pretty, but it is. Like, and her voice is so angelic. That voice is like not of this world. Okay. Like that's ethereal. That is a goddess level. I can't. It sounds so good. They sound so good. I can't.
God knows you are a wild child, beautiful child, I need your help. Looking like you come from the 90s by yourself. My mum's 61 and her favourite line to tell her son is sometimes she wished that she had a girl. I want to take you back to a time, back to a trip. You had that white wine that I never got to sip, and dinner was a ruin cause you never got the pick. I know that everybody told me that I'm sick cause
The way my mind falling away in my heart. I know you feel the same when you're with me.
Okay, my question though, is it meant to be like she's the bride, but she's not getting married to him? Because we're at a wedding, right? Right? If she's not marrying him, I can't. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. I'm afraid. Surely not. Right?
You know I'm all you need. You're where I wanna be. My darling, can't you see? I love me and you. Never let me go. Can't you see? I love me and you. Never let me go. Me and you. I tell you 2 times. Me and you. Never let me go.
No, it is their wedding, right?
Tell me 2 times. Me and you. Never let me go. Me and you. Tell me 2 times. Me and you. Never let me go. Me and you. Tell me 2
I
times.
said lean with it, rock with it. Your finger, I could put a rock in it. Finger, I could put a rock in it. Bangkok, they gon' put a block in it. Said rock with it, bounce with it. The left wrist, I could put my house in it. You wanna bet, babe? I could put my house in it. Paper, I could put my spouse in it. I said shimmy, shimmy, yeah, shimmy, 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 yeah. 5'9", brown eyes, and she in it, shimmy, shimmy, yeah, shimmy, 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 yeah. 5'9", brown eyes, in it, shimmy, shimmy, yeah, shimmy, 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 yeah. 5'9", brown eyes, and she in it, shimmy, shimmy, yeah, shimmy, 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 yeah. 5'9", brown eyes.
Oh, thank God. I was really scared there for a second. I was like, wait, no, don't put me through that. Jeez. I don't know why I thought that for a second. I guess it's because they weren't sitting beside each other. And in my head, I was like, wait, I got worried that she was basically singing to him across the way. But it was like, okay, but it's only for like girls around her. So like maybe they're just sitting separate. I was worried. I was concerned. I was like, surely you wouldn't do that to me with this beautiful song. Surely you wouldn't do that to me, right? Okay, we're good. I can stop freaking out now. I can't believe I've been filming for this long. I love how I was like, I need to test the audio settings on like a shorter video. It's not like an album. Proceeds to literally film for like 2.5 hours. Surely I'll be able to edit some of that down. Anyways, let's hope my audio settings worked. If not, I'm screwed. And I'm so sorry to future editing me. That's not really the point here, but anyways. Okay, well, final thoughts. I clearly loved that. I'm so obsessed with this. It's not even funny. I genuinely don't know how I'm supposed to just like live my life and act like this doesn't exist, prevent myself from listening to it. That's how I feel. His voice, his lyrics, but the sound, if this is what we're working with, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that information. We literally just started the J. Cole journey on Patreon. I say on Patreon. If this video is being posted, YouTube would have had the videos before it. Okay, so the point is, we just started the J. Cole journey deep dive, which is going to be a lengthy one. And then JID is after that. I don't really know how I'm supposed to like wait for all that to be done before we could even do this deep dive. And that's if you guys voted for it. Okay. Okay. Can we talk about this? No, I'm serious. Like, can we talk about this? Can we, Salem Coven members, can we have a discussion about this? Because like, I'm like already trying to figure out how to make this work because like, okay, so like he only has 3 albums. I'm like, well, like we could like squeeze that in, right? Maybe like once a month or something. But then I kind of feel bad because I'm like, okay, is that unfair that I'm not treating it? Because, okay, in theory that could work. But then normally when I do the deep dives, I start at the beginning, which means mixtapes and EPs and stuff like that, and like live performances and like all, you know, all the things, right? If we went like full artist deep dive, that wouldn't work. But if we just did the albums, I feel like that could work. But then I'm like, is that wrong? I'm genuinely, I don't think this has happened. Like, don't get me wrong. Every single one we've done so far, I've loved all of it. And I would be so down for a full artist deep dive for every one of these videos we've done. But this is just, I don't know. There's just something like very much up my alley about this. Okay, I need to chill. I'm supposed to film another video. Okay, I'm gonna try to eat some dinner and then, oh my God, I never fed oh God, I gotta go feed the horses. Okay, so I'm gonna go feed the horses and myself, regroup, and hope I can film another video. We'll see how I feel. I don't know what you want. My brain's mush at this point and I'm just obsessed with it. And I can't even reflect on what I heard because I'm too in my head about wanting more. Okay, I'm just gonna end this video. I really loved this so much. Clearly, he's so talented. I am unwell. His lyrics, what he's exploring, I don't even know how to handle all this. I just need to go. Like, genuinely, I just need to go. I'm sure I missed a lot. So, you know, as always, let me know, what did I get right? What did I get wrong? What did I miss? Heavy emphasis on that. Let me know your thoughts, please and thank you. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.